Welcome everyone to our ceremony today, honoring our newest inductee into Kirkland's Plaza of Champions, Kathy Smith-Connor. You probably not called that very often, Kathy Smith-Connor. Not anymore. Yeah, but today we're going to refer to you because of your achievements as Kathy Smith, and now you're Kathy Smith-Connor. My name is Michael Kogel with the Department of Parks and Community Services here for the City of Kirkland, and it's my honor to be here tonight to celebrate this occasion with you. First of all, I'd like to introduce a few dignitaries that are here today. First of all, from our Kirkland City Council, Toby Nixon in the back. Thank you, Toby, for being here. And to his right is the Director of our Parks and Community Services Department, Lynn Zwagstra. And I'll be introducing this fine gentleman to my left here just momentarily. I would like to take a moment to thank our Kirkland Park Board. Our Park Board is a volunteer group of citizens that is charged with reviewing nominations for the Plaza of Champions. Plaza of Champions is reserved only for the best of of our Kirklanders, and appreciate all the work that our Park Board does for the Plaza of Champions. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Jay Arnold, Deputy Mayor for the City of Kirkland, to make a few opening remarks.
Thank you, Michael. Very happy to be here today to join you all in honoring our newest inductee into the Plaza of Champions. Kirkland is a place where things happen, and that's one of the things that makes Kirkland such a wonderful community. We make great ideas happen and make them become reality, and such is the case for the Plaza of Champions, which was the brainchild of a few civic-minded citizens over a quarter of a century ago who believed we needed a place in a special way to honor and celebrate the achievements of our residents. The Plaza of Champions honors those Kirkland individuals and groups who have reached the pinnacle of success in their chosen field of endeavor. The plaza, located in the heart of our downtown waterfront, provides our residents and our visitors with an opportunity to learn about and appreciate the achievement of Kirkland's true champions. Today, our newest honoree will join 22 previous members of Kirkland's most exclusive club. From war heroes to sports heroes, from journalism to cycling, the Plaza of Champions is a reflection of our success in building a community where our neighbors can make things happen and do excel. Today, let's celebrate that success. On behalf of the Kirkland City Council and the whole city of Kirkland, we congratulate Kathy Smith-Connor for her achievements and welcome her into the Plaza of Champions.
Thank you, Jay. So we have a number of people here that are family members, Kathy, as well as friends, but there's folks here that don't know a lot about Kathy Smith-Connor. So I've had an opportunity to learn about you through this process and reading up about you. So I want to share some information with everybody about you. You were born and raised here in Kirkland. You were a Ben Franklin Elementary School Eagle, a Rose Hill Junior High Royal, and a Lake Washington High School Kangaroo. Mighty Kangs. Growing up, Kathy and her family loved riding horses at Bridle Trail State Park, swimming and boating on Lake Washington, going to Moss Bay days, attending church, and being active members of the Kirkland community. Kathy's competitive swimming career began as an 11-year-old with the YMCA's Bellevue Eastside swim team. After showing talent and promise in National Junior Olympic competitions as a Rose Hill Junior High 14-year-old, young Kathy Smith was invited by the United States Olympic Committee to its National Training Center for some intensive training and teaching by some of the nation's finest coaches. Her swimming accomplishments and the positive attention she brought to her hometown continued to grow from there. While at Lake Washington High, and only a 15-year-old sophomore, Kathy Smith-Connor broke state high school records and also established a national record in the 100-yard breaststroke. No high school girl had ever swam the event faster. In 1980, and still in high school, Ms. Connor participated in the U.S. Olympic trials and was selected as an alternate for the U.S. Olympic team. This began a globe-trotting stint for Kathy in representing her country and traveling to international competitions in places like Japan, Russia, but not just representing, excelling. 3 gold medals and a bronze medal in 1981 at the New Zealand Games, another gold medal and a silver medal in 1985 at the World University Games in Japan, a gold medal and a bronze medal at the very first Goodwill Games held in Russia in 1986. The 1990 Goodwill Games were held where? Seattle. After completing her high school career, Kathy turned down scholarship offers from dozens of other universities to attend Stanford University, where she became an All-American and a key member of a national championship program. In fact, Ms. Connor received 21 NCAA All-American awards while at Stanford. But I'm guessing that Kathy is equally proud of being awarded the Pac-10 Conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year Award in 1986. Kathy graduated from Stanford with a degree in psychology and continued her studies at Oxford University in England. Today, through her company Connor College Consulting, Kathy is able to combine her psychology training, a love of working with teens, and her organizational and management experience to assist and encourage high school students through their college selection process. And Kathy and her family currently reside in Portland, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the Kirkland Plaza of Champions, Kathy Smith Connor.
All right. My last guest arrived, Teresa, and her daughter, Emily. So I'm at an age now where I'm at over 50, and I have to wear these to see what I'm going to read. So a huge thank you to Michael and the other staff that's here, and it's such a pleasure to be able to be here. This was conceived of with my husband and I. We were walking down here, 5 years ago, and he said, why aren't you in here? That's literally what he said. So we went through the application process, and I'm very honored to have been chosen to be part of this. One funny thing is I see Rick Colella over here. He taught me how to do butterfly, which is pretty fun. So I thought it would be fun to just talk a little bit about some of my Kirkland memories, and also the people that are here today. I hand-picked you guys because you all have played an important role in my life, especially in my younger Kirkland years, which is why you're here. I didn't want to have a huge crowd and not be able to chat with you guys and thank you for the role that you played. So I want to talk about each of you guys a little bit too. So some of the memories, I thought I'd start with that. My very first memories really are of feeding the ducks right here. We would save our bread crusts all week long, and then we would come down here, and I must have been like 3 or 4, and that was some of my fondest and earliest memories of Kirkland. And there used to be a log here that was hollow, and I remember climbing through it. You remember that? Super fun. And then some of my other earliest memories, I think it was Ben Franklin, right? We used to call it the dime store, and it was right here. And we used to save our allowance and come down here and hunt through those little toy bins and spend our allowance. So those are some of my earliest memories. Another fun memory is Teresa. I'm so glad she showed up. Former swim colleague. Teresa and Brian and I decided to swim across the lake one summer. So we launched ourselves right here off this beach, and we swam all the way across to Seattle with my mom in a little dinghy rowing next to us. And for a swimmer, it's not very far. I don't know, like 3 miles across. How much was it? 2.1 miles, which is not very far. We would swim easily double or triple that in practices, but the idea of what's creepy crawling underneath us is a little weird. So, and I think I did that twice, but my first time was with Teresa and Brian. My first swim lessons, right up here at the little pool up here, I failed those. I still remember that. Because I thought I was going to be this great swimmer, and I got put in whatever group it was, and they said, "Oh, you don't belong in this group. You can't do backstroke, and you have to go down to the lower group." So they failed me, and kind of funny. My swimmer daughter will know. I still never really learned to do backstroke. So I remember right up there failing my first swim lessons. Strattonwood swim team. So my swimmer friends here will know that how funny this is, but we joined the Strattonwood Little Summer League swim team. Must have been 11, and I had so much fun. I said, "Mom, I want to swim year-round so I can stay in shape for the summer league." And little did we all know, summer league is small time, and the winter year-round swimming is the big time. And I quickly got engaged from there. And my best friend in high school, Kathy Kraus-Sedum, we spent many times down here having heart-to-heart talks. We went all through, I guess we became kind of close best friends in end of Rose Hill Junior High, and then all through high school together. And I have memories of her all over Kirkland, and we were locker partners all through high school, and said we were going to be locker partners in heaven, so I hope that deal is still on for that. So I'm happy to have her here. Riding horses almost every day in Bridle Trail State Park. We were fortunate enough to build our house in my grandparents' horse pasture. I think they had about 2 acres or so, and they let us build our house there, and it was across the street literally from Bridle Trail State Park. So I have so many fond memories of riding horses in there. And Kirkland was just an ideal place to grow up. It was back in those days when you could be gone all day, just be home in time for dinner. And we literally would. We'd take the horses and be gone all day. And it was super fun. So really enjoyed that a lot. Being taught how to do butterfly, I already mentioned that, by Lynn and Rick Kalella. I don't know if Lynn Kalella is in here, but I see Rick. So that was fun. I think I know every pool in Washington State. I think you guys all understand that too. And in my business, I think it was just yesterday, I was talking to someone in admissions at University of Washington because I was asking if they were going to be resurrecting the women's swim team again, which just Teresa swam there. And they're not anytime in the near future, partly because they don't have a competitive pool that's the size that would attract swimmers. And they said, we just have that little Heck Ed pool. And I said, I know, I broke 2 national records in that pool. It's a pretty great pool as far as I'm concerned. So those are some of my memories. But I also just wanted to tie in some of my friends that are here because they were a huge part of my Kirkland and growing up years. And I think most of us as we get older realize that we are nothing in and of ourselves, that it is the community around us that helps us become who we are. And my 2 daughters, beautiful daughters who are here, they probably heard this almost every day of their lives, that choose your friends carefully because you will largely become those kind of people. And I'm happy to say my daughters are choosing their friends wisely, and I feel like I have too, and some of the special ones are here. So let's see, I mentioned Kathy, Locker Partners Forever in Heaven. Looking forward to that. My husband suggested that I invite my ex-boyfriend, who is here, Brian Pakala, who went to the losing team of Juanita. And he's here with his wife, Liz. So it's wonderful to have an ex-boyfriend who you can still stay friends with, and his wife is supportive, and my husband is supportive, and he was a big part of my growing up years here and in Kirkland. And I mentioned he was one of the ones who swam across the lake with me. My teammate Lori Mock and her mom are here, and Lori was always the person that I looked up to on my club swim team. We swam together for many years, and she was the one that I chased. We both swam similar events, and I wouldn't probably have become quite the swimmer that I was without Lori. Eventually I got to the point, as she reminded me, where she started chasing me. But it was a wonderful, I don't know how many years we had together, 3 or 4, wonderful. So I'm very happy she's here. And our other teammate, Teresa Edwards Pruitt, is here, and she was a big sister to me, and we had many wonderful times of talking, and she lived with us 1 or 2 summers. One summer. So she was very much a big sister and also one of those that I looked up to and chased for a while. And then she went off to swim at University of Washington. Lori went off to swim at University of New Mexico. Arlene Lake Murphy is here. She's behind the pole there for me. So she was more of an acquaintance at Lake Washington High School. But I don't know, 8 years ago or so, I was getting an award at the Federal Way Pool, and she came tearing down from the bleachers down onto the deck to congratulate me and say that she has a daughter who was a swimmer later in life and didn't realize all my accomplishments, I guess, and how hard I had to work to maintain, a strong GPA and keep up at Lake Washington High School and still swim at the level that I did. So her comments and then a subsequent email really touched me, and I'm really honored to have her here with me today too. And let's see, my sister could not have asked for a better little sister, Kim Goddard, so she's here. And I'm very happy that we've all kind of migrated down to Portland from Kirkland. So she lives in she lives in Portland with us now. And my nieces, her two kids, Emily and Lindsay, are here. So I'm thrilled that she can be here to support me and has over the years and will continue to do so for many years. And my mom is here, Carol Smith, and she is the one who, along with my dad, who's no longer with us, sadly, I would love for him to be here today, launched me on this path. And now that I'm a mom, I understand that she was the cheerleader, the ATM, and the chauffeur. And I completely understand that. Because now I am the cheerleader, ATM, and the chauffeur for my own kids. And my parents taught me, I've been asked this many times, what does it take to get to the level that I did? And I think the biggest thing is my parents taught me to dream big, really dare to dream big and think outside of the box and work hard sometimes. Things don't get handed to you. But those are some of the best lessons that I could have learned, and I've hopefully imparted those to my own children as well. And she really gave me my roots and my wings, along with my dad. And actually, one memory I neglected to say, because it's huge memories of my dad, is we had a boat, like many Kirklandites do, and we would always launch right here. And that was really fun, and then spend a lot of time on the water and water skiing. So being down here very much makes me remember my dad. My husband, Darren, who is here, and he's the one who started this whole thing and has been a huge cheerleader for me as well and an encouragement. So I'm thrilled that you're here. And I'm also thrilled that he helped me have two wonderful children. We have a great family, and we just came up here from my older daughter, Caitlin's college soccer game. So she got the athletic genes in a sport that we knew nothing about. And I used to say to her, Caitlin, you played great. And she'd say, Mom, I played terrible. And I'm like, I don't know. It all looks good to me. Unfortunately, my younger daughter, Elena, got the swimming gene, and I know way too much about swimming. So I have to rein myself in when she gets out of a race and not critique her efforts and let her have her own journey. And she'll be swimming at the University of Arizona. She's a senior in high school, so she'll be swimming at the University of Arizona next year. So I have no idea how much time I have, but I think I've covered everybody. Yes, I've covered everybody. And I guess I'd just like to say that Kirkland gave me a wonderful childhood. And I hope all of you here, I know you guys grew up in like Bellevue and a few other places, but this area gave us a wonderful, wonderful childhood. And I had wonderful parents who, like I said, gave me roots and wings and allowed me to dream big, which has allowed me to eventually be here. So I'm very grateful for that. And that I hope that I am now passing that wonderful legacy with my husband onto my own family. So thank you so much for this honor. And thank you guys all so much for being here. It really means a lot. Again, you're not going to cry, right? She's looking a little teary. That would make me get all teary. So it's been a wonderful chance, too, as I was thinking about what I wanted to say, to think back on this journey that it's been and all that Kirkland has allowed me to have and be. It's a big part of who I am. So thank you.
Absolutely, and we'd love to hear more. And we do want to open up the microphone to anybody else that would like to say a few words. So we'll begin with you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Carol Smith, as you know, her mother, and I am very proud, not just because she's a good swimmer, but she's a marvelous person, and I'm very, very happy to be her mother. But I wanted to tell you one story about her grandmother. I didn't know my mother very well. She died when I was 10 years old, and some of the relatives had told me that she was a wonderful swimmer, and out in Snohomish and a few other places, she would often swim across a lake. But I didn't know much more about that until just not too many years ago. Some relative where she had grown up in Kansas had saved a few of her belongings when she moved out to the Northwest and sent them to me, and I found in her trunk of belongings swim team medals that she had won at the University of Kansas in 1916. And I have them framed. And the first time Kathy went to the Olympic trials a few years ago, I took them and showed them to some of the coaches there and visited the University of Kansas natatorium to show them these medals that had arrived. So I am very, very proud of Kathy, but I'm also very proud of my mother, who left a gift when her body would no longer cooperate physically on this earth, of a skill that she had had. And I wish I had brought that frame with me today, but sometime maybe we will. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Would anybody else like to say a word or two? Okay, so what we're going to do now is unveil the bronze plaque inducting Kathy Smith Connor into Kirkland's Plaza of Champions.